So welcome back. We begin our deep dive into individual planetary combustion. We'll start with the fastest, most emotional planet. It's the moon, Chandra. So the moon represents your mind, your emotions, your mother, and the need for security and nurturing. When the moon is combust, it means the raw light of your Atma, of your soul, is intensely heating up and demanding purity from your emotional world. For the moon to be considered combust, it must be within 12 degrees of the sun in your birth chart. For example, if your sun is at, say, 12 degrees in the 5th house, your moon must be anywhere between 0 degrees and 24 degrees in the same 5th house for it to be considered combust. If your sun is, say, at 5 degrees in the 8th house, then your moon must be anywhere between 23 degrees in the 7th house, if the sun is 5 degrees into the 8th house, and 17 degrees into the 8th house for the combustion to apply. You understand? So it could go back into the previous house as well because it's within 12 degrees. The key is that it must be within that 12-degree distance of the sun's precise degree. So it could fall a house behind, it could fall a house ahead also if the sun is in the latter degrees. I want to start by asking you some painful but necessary questions. Why do you constantly feel misunderstood in your deepest emotional needs? Why does your connection to your mother or the idea of home feel suppressed or confusing? Why do you struggle to trust your own intuition, even when it's screaming the truth at you? So if the moon is combust in your Vedic chart, your soul has chosen a life where emotional security is achieved only through profound self-reliance and internal spiritual purification. This is a very tough placement to have your moon be combust, your mind be combust, your mother be combust. Let's talk about the past life root of this. Why did your soul choose this setting? A combust moon points to a past life where the native severely denied or betrayed or misused the moon's essential energies. Think of it as a deep karmic imbalance in the area of nurturing and emotional truth. So in a past life, you likely may have operated with an overgrown ego, which is the sun, that entirely overruled the quiet wisdom of the heart, which is the moon. You may have neglected nurturing, giving, and receiving. You likely focus too heavily on status and external achievement, which is the shadow of the sun. And you may have ignored or suppressed the fundamental emotional needs of those that are dependent on you. You may have been a parent or a leader who provided material stability, but was emotionally absent or cold. And you will see that in this lifetime. So the karmic debt now demands you address your own emotional emptiness that resulted from that neglect. The next could have been the betrayal of intuition. You frequently may have ignored, dismissed, or even ridiculed your powerful intuition and the emotional wisdom of others, always favoring ego-driven visible logic and intellect. The spiritual cleanup now forces you into a situation where only your intuition can guide you, but you struggle to hear it over the noise of your own ego. Next could have been the sin of dependency. The past life may have involved excessive, draining emotional dependency on others, particularly on a maternal or a nurturing figure. The moon is combust to burn away the need for external validation and dependency, forcing you to develop an inner mother, a stable, self-nurturing capacity in this life. Your mother may not be nurturing if you have a combust moon. Another thing is the emotional isolation You created deep emotional walls and rigid self-protection, isolating yourself from the flow of empathy and vulnerability. The sun now holds your moon so close, making its energy so internal and private that you're compelled to confront your own feelings without the distraction of others. These are all the past life things that could have happened, could have been any of them. So what is your lesson when you have a combust moon? So the sun now, which is your ego and soul, now forces your mind, your moon, and your emotions to burn away the dependency and seek emotional nourishment from within, detoxing the need for external validation. You must become the source of the emotional security that you once denied others or yourself. So what are the lessons? The lesson of a combust moon is to replace external dependency with internal divine connection. Let's talk about your spiritual roadmap, your core lessons and actions in this lifetime that will help you. The first lesson is you want to master the mind, Mano-Jaya. Your mind is volatile, so your first task is discipline. You, with the combust moon, must commit to a daily 10-minute meditation practice focused solely on observing your breathing. Now, this detaches the Atma, which is the soul, from the mind's drama, allowing intuition to surface. What's your second lesson? Nurturing the self. Since external sources feel unreliable, you must become your own caregiver. Engage in self-nurturing rituals that require no one else, not your mother, not your spouse, no one. Cooking your favorite healthy meal, serving it to yourself with love, taking a ritual bath, or walking in the nature alone. The act of self-care is the remedy. Let's talk about the third lesson, connecting to the universal nurturer. The moon represents the universal, receptive, and soothing feminine principle. Focus on the mantra of the moon, Om Som Somaya Namaha. If mantra feels too foreign, then dedicate time to contemplating the quiet power of nature, like a still lake or a silent strength of the earth. Channeling your emotional reliance towards the dependable, soothing force, which is the universal nurturer, which is always there. You can also check your D9 chart for any improvement to see if your moon improved. It's the Navamsha chart. The D9 chart shows the karmic refinement of your spiritual destiny. But how do you check it? What's the check? So you can look at the sign and the house position of the moon in your D9 chart. Has it moved to a friendlier, stronger sign, such as an exaltation or own sign, or friendly sign, or is it still in an enemy sign or debilitated? This indicates that the soul is making progress in integrating emotional maturity and self-nurturing. Again, check out our foundational videos if you'd like to know about the sign placements. It's right here in the video description. The link is there. See, the goal is that the moon in the D9 expresses its energy more peacefully and with greater intuition, showing that the emotional work is paying off in your underlying spiritual fabric, strengthening your emotional destiny. Now, a combust moon is not a sentence of lifelong emotional confusion. No. It is the signature of a soul that's capable of achieving unshakable divine inner peace, albeit very, very hard way, but they will. The spiritual truth of combustion is that the sun is refining your emotional self so intensely that when you master this placement, your intuition will be perfect and undistorted by external noise. How amazing is that? This is the gift. Its a gift is a mind that is a pure channel for the soul's wisdom. That line is so important. The karmic lesson is to realize that true security, emotional security, true security, is the one thing that you can never receive from the outside. It must be generated entirely from within. Your true happiness, your true emotional security. You are tasked with becoming your own ultimate nurturer and emotional guru. Embrace the heat of the sun, the combustion. It is burning away the emotional debris of the past so that a perfectly pure, intuitive mind can shine through. It is a hard placement, I am not going to lie. One of the hardest combustion placements. Now, let's turn this wisdom into action right now. First, tell me in the comments, what is the one small daily self-nurturing ritual that you will commit to this week to honor your combust moon? Second, commit to the sound or the silence. Find the mantra for the moon, which is Om Som Somaya Namaha, and listen to it for 5 minutes. Or if the mantra is too tough for you or too foreign for you, then spend 5 minutes in silence, consciously seeking the quiet, consciously. And it's a soothing power of the universal nurturer. And share this video with anyone who constantly feels misunderstood or struggles to trust their gut feeling. Next time, we tackle the intellectual challenges of video 2, which is Combust Mercury or Buddha, purifying the intellect for truth. This will cover dishonesty, intellectual pride, and how to become a self-reliant, brilliant thinker. So hit the notification bell right now so you don't miss the next stage of your combustion mastery. Now, of course, for all the foundational videos, you want to click on the link in the video description section so you understand all the 12 houses and the 9 planets and your Vedic horoscope chart. And if you'd like to take a deep dive into your own personal chart, reach out to me via the link in the video description section or in the about section of this channel. Thank you for watching, and thank yourself for watching. That's all for today.